Hello and welcome. What a wonderful day to be streaming today. Hello and welcome. I am Dark Archon, and I am joined today by two fabulous developers of Project Warlock II. And today we'll be showing you an early preview of what's to come with the game in the following months. To my right-hand side, I think, whichever that would be, is Kuba. He's the lead developer on the project.
Hi guys, it's nice to see you.
And to my other right-hand side, I've got David.
Hello, everyone.
David's the principal artist on the project, and Project Warlock 2 is definitely a looker. It's one game to look out for its graphics, for its music design, for its programming, and for its amazing retro feel. How are you guys feeling today?
Dave?
Pretty good. Having
Yeah.
some technical issues.
That's all right. We'll iron them out as we go. It's always like that, you know, early access, both on the live stream, both for the game. So there's always some minor kinks to work out, but don't worry about any of that. I would like to also say hello to our wonderful viewers. Hello there, viewers. I hope everything's fine with you. Today, you'll have the opportunity to ask some questions to the developers. We'll be happy to guide you through many parts of the game. Some of them you might have seen before if you played the demo. Some of them will be brand new if we're lucky enough to get there. I'm not that good at video games, as you'll soon see. But feel free to ask us questions. Feel free to comment. Feel free to engage. We'll be happy to answer as many questions as we can. And how about that, guys? Should we start? Should we get it on with the game? Should we try to play a couple levels, see how it goes?
Yeah, I think definitely we can jump in and just talk about the stuff that we recently did to the game. So
Fantastic.
yeah, there's a lot to talk about, so yeah.
So before we start, because I have to go and ask the basic questions for everyone who's not played the game before or who's with us for the first time. There's a number 2 in the title, which implies there was a first game in the series. Could you tell us a little bit about Project Warlock, where the series came from, and where it's heading with the second installment?
Well, yeah, so definitely there is Project Warlock 1. It's titled Project Warlock without the number, obviously. But so we came up with this cool concept of making a Wolfenstein 3D based shooter, which was supposed to be very simple and fun to play. And that's where the series started. And in Project Warlock 2, we want to expand on that simple principle to make the game more advanced in many ways, in technological aspects, in gameplay aspects, and graphic aspects, and basically in every aspect. So Project Warlock 2 is a direct sequel to the first game, and the first game released in 2018 as a very I think we have a technical issue here.
I think I got kicked out for a second. Don't worry, I'm back. I'm back with you guys.
Can you hear me?
All right. So is everything good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Everything's fine again.
Okay, great. So again, Project Warlock 1 is a simple first-person shooter, which was made by me, David, and some other people who also are still with us on the team, like Jerry and Luke. And we basically wanted to make the best possible shooter that we wanted to make. So we are always giving our best, basically, to make the game. And with Project Warlock 2, we also have the same way of doing things. So this is what we have done so far, and yeah, I think it would be fun to show you guys what we made.
Sure. How about we'll get to it? I'll be playing, so please be gentle with your comments about my gaming abilities. I'll just jump into the game. We'll start the game on the easy difficulty. It's called Walk in the Park. So hopefully it'll be a walk in the park.
So when it comes to this character screen, as you can see, this actually is something pretty recent, made by our newest member in Buckshot at Buckshot Software, by Bogdan. If Bogdan's here, then hello to Bogdan. He made this polymer image and most of the UI assets you can see here. I think it looks very cool, and it definitely gives a very cool style to the game. So let me guys know what you think about it. When it comes to the other aspects of this screen, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see there's one character with 2 question marks, which I assume means we'll have some extra characters to talk about in the future. That's nothing we're ready to talk about now, is it?
I mean, all we can say actually is that we're starting the early access with the first character, and we are going to add some new interesting characters in the future. David,
Very
if you want to add
excited.
something, then go ahead.
So from what I can tell from the character selection screen, we'll have characters with different abilities and with personalized arsenal.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, I won't make you wait any longer. I'll just start a new game here. And if you don't mind, I'll ask David a couple questions about the art style, because this is the first thing that's going to hit us straight in the face when I press the fire button now. The game is a sight to behold, if I can say so myself. I got a very fast start here. The first thing I need to do is pick up a weapon. If I don't do that, I get destroyed by the first enemies, which is very interesting to see in a shooter game. Like, super fast reaction from the very beginning. So as you can tell, the game is a very fine combination of new technologies, 3D graphics, as well as old school 2D sprites for objects. David, could you tell us a bit about the design of the game and how it's evolving?
Yeah, sure. Well, as you can see, we'll try to aim for a combination of pixel art, a comic style, a bit of cel shading, something that works with in the context of the game. Which previously we tried to make the game a little more detailed, a little more gritty. But it doesn't always translate well with this kind of geometry, with this kind of art assets. Turned out to people were oftentimes confused as what are they looking at, or where to go, if that's a door or if that's a wall. So this time we're trying to go easy on the details and grittiness and focus on making this everything more clear and visible. And we will be adding some more details as we go, keeping in mind to keep everything clear and visible.
So it's a very old school approach. Simple is better, isn't it? It makes the game a lot more visible, easier to read in general.
It's a general design principle. Less is more, and we are constantly. It's proving to be true constantly in every step of the way.
Okay, I've got a question from the chat about the little bar right below the crosshair. Could you talk about what we can see on the screen, on the HUD?
Let me give you a little tip here. I mean, a little hint for that answer. Change your weapons and look at the little bar under the crosshair. What can you tell compared to the right bottom corner of the HUD?
Ooh, it looks... Okay, I've got it. It looks like an ammo indicator.
Yeah, it's basically an additional ammo indicator, which we have implemented based on some feedback that we got. And so you've got this option, which you can disable in preferences in menu. So this is a thing you can do. The visual style of that is still yet to be confirmed with players if it's okay. I mean, I think it's pretty useful. It's not obscuring any important parts of the screen. I put it on the bottom of the crosshair to make it easier to aim, so that doesn't obscure anything. So that's what we did. So yeah, that's the answer.
I think it's a very good idea personally, because you concentrate your view on the middle of the screen. Peeking in the corner is not always ideal, especially in the middle of a firefight. So it's definitely a great idea. So while we're talking about the weapons, how about we talk a bit about our options here? Because one of the first pickups in the game is a claymore, a sword. which plays a very important role because the game's got a very interesting reload and weapon system. Could you talk about this for a bit for me? 'Cause that's very interesting in my opinion.
Well, first of all, as you have noticed, in the first like 10 seconds of the game, you already got access to two basic weapons, and then you found the third one in the secret. Well, this is actually something we also implemented after some feedback, because the game is really a lot about weapon switching, and this is something that we really want to, well, maybe not push, but give incentive to do. So we have decided to put a lot of weapons at the start of the game, so that you can start and familiarize yourself with the arsenal and between switching those weapons. So this mechanic is introduced to actually increase your damage output. It really does increase it if you play properly, because a shotgun has basically a reload animation after 2 shots. And if you change the weapon to the rifle or claymore, we also have another mechanic, which is the background reload mechanic, which means that the animation plays in the background if you have another weapon in your hands. And once you go back after like 2 seconds to that weapon, it will be already reloaded. So this system is designed around switching the weapons, basically.
Okay, so basically...
The new Shadow Warrior actually has the same mechanic, and we kind of developed this without knowing it, but we're doing the same thing.
Okay, so basically when I use the Claymore, I run out of energy after a while. So instead of waiting for it to reload, I can just change the weapon, start shooting, and the Claymore reloads in the background. So once I go back to it, it's already ready to use.
Yeah, exactly. It's the stamina also replenishes a bit faster when the weapon is hidden. So that's an incentive to actually not just use a single weapon every time you play. So you can absolutely play with one weapon. I mean, it does decrease your efficiency a bit, but it's possible.
Okay. I'm purposefully running around the very same areas instead of progressing in a game, because there's so much to see, and as you can tell, every time I come back to the same location, something new is happening, which also is very interesting. But the reason I'm staying here, because my favorite element of the game right now is, which very reminiscent for me of Duke Nukem 3D, is the destructible environment. There's bits in the game where where you're able to destroy walls, for instance. Are you planning any more interesting tricks to include in the game like that? And can we see a lot more homages to like classic gaming classics such as Doom, Duke Nukem, Quake, and games similar to that?
Yeah, we plan to have a lot more of this kind of destructible environment, and maybe even some scripted events, but it takes time, so we weren't able to put a lot of it in the demo or in this version, but we will be adding that. Sometimes it's a bit tricky, because
sure,
the layout of the level changes, and we have to account for that when we put the enemies, because the enemies can get confused as to what's happening when a wall is here and next wall isn't there. Should it be able to walk through it, or just ignore it?
Of course. I've stopped directly here because this is one of the destructible walls that I wanted to showcase. So I just stopped here just so I can shoot at it to actually open it up. So there's plenty of locations like that, plenty of little secrets to look for.
There's actually another bit of wall you can destroy right there, but it doesn't do anything, but you can destroy another piece of the wall. Yeah.
The pillars on the pole are also destructible.
Okay. There we go. That's something I just learned. I've played through that section like 5 times already, and it's the first time I've noticed that. Thank you for that. We've got some questions in the chat. There's some actual... We got some proper feedback about some features that people liked, and that people would like to see. For instance, questions about the combo meter, asking about what what does the combo meter actually do? Because yes, whenever I kill enemies, a combo meter shows up on the screen. How does that work? And we can see the combo meter now. And does it actually do something in the game, or is it just something visual?
Well, actually, it does a very important thing for the game. It's one of the most core elements of the gunplay. But when it comes, I can see the questions on my screen too. When it comes to the XP or anything like that, sure, the combo has influence on your final score at the level, and we plan to implement a leaderboard so that you can see your scoring compared with other players on different levels. So we do plan to have a little like competitive aspect in the game, so that you can actually keep on improving your score, and you do that by doing better combos. And it's all basically about your efficiency of the way how you play. Combo system has a lot more to it, and I think it's a completely separate topic. So we can either move to that or.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to hear more
Okay.
about the combo system. No problem. We've got all the time in the world, guys.
Great.
free.
But first thing, I would like to add something to the thing you asked previously, Archon, because you said we were talking about destructible environments and everything. So David said that we have a little bit of that in the game, and we want to add more in the future. And this is very true, because one of the core aspects of Buckshot software is that we really want to do stuff that we are sure we can achieve in certain time, so to say. Obviously, sometimes we have little timeline changes, but in general, we really want to do stuff that we are sure we can do. And I just want to let you guys know that we are never, trying to give you things that we will not implement in the future. So that's why we are working on it incrementally, so to say.
Well,
But
it's great design philosophy in general. So I think people appreciate the fact that you're not trying to oversell your game. I think it stands very well on its own.
yeah, we are adding a thing one at a time, so there's definitely place for improvement everywhere.
There you go. Destructible
yeah.
pillars.
So back to the combo topic.
Sure.
It's one of the most important mechanics when it comes to Project Warlock 2, because we are actually basing the gunplay system around it. And like I said before, it has influence on your score. It also has a positive aspect on your gameplay, because the more combos you do, the more ammo and health drops. Health and armor drops you get from monsters. So if you reach a certain combo, monsters are actually going to start dropping health vials and armor shards. And this actually also is combined with our new ability system, which is kind of a replacement for the spell system in Project Warlock 1. So instead of the spell system like we had before with shop and everything and mana usage, in Project Warlock 2 we have this cool ability system where the abilities are cooldown based. And it basically means that your abilities are not using any mana or ammo resources. Instead of that, you have only a timed cooldown, which you can reduce by doing combos. And I think it fits pretty well with the game. It really adds a lot of, dynamic to the gameplay, I would say. So these are the basics of the combo system, and we are constantly working on it. I think it is kind of balanced, so to say, but it will definitely require more fine-tuning in the future. When we enter the early access period, I think we will definitely have a lot of cool feedback on how it works. We already got some of it through our playtests, but there's definitely place to improve.
So I see that there's a lot of factors in the game that were influenced by player feedback. Is that right? From what I've heard, speaking to you guys before, a lot of the game is being shaped by the feedback of the community. Is that right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff that we are improving on. Well, actually, I think Dave can say something about that, because the first thing we talked about were the textures, and the change actually comes from also the player feedback. And I think Dave can say something about that.
Yeah, not only the player feedback. My intention was always to make this game look like this, but I wasn't. It wasn't always so easy to achieve that. So there were several iterations of the visuals, like the monsters. If anyone played the demo that we released some time ago, you can compare it and see very drastic changes. How the monsters look, how the textures look. Since then we learned some new tricks how to make stuff, and now it's much more dynamic, much more clear, and and when it comes to player feedback, for example, the layout of the levels, we had to constantly adjust them, not only from the player feedback, but from our own play testing. You just need to make it, play it, test it, see what's wrong, and try to change it and see if it's better. Rinse, repeat.
Sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, because Project Warlock 2 is our first game which has 3D, like completely 3D level design. We are learning everything, basically, we are constantly learning, so to say. So there's always place for improvement, and I think the levels will see also a lot of changes in the future, because just like I said, there's a lot of room to improve everywhere. So.
Yeah, like our first levels were had a lot of very tight corridors, for example, very claustrophobic. We were trying to address this by adding, like, for example, the places like here. You can see much more open areas. There are also still some tight corridors because variety. You need to have a little bit of all of them, but a nice balance is always good. Also, addressing the accessibility features, somebody mentions the head bobbing. You can reduce it or even completely turn it off in the options menu.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's try it, Ark.
Of course.
Let's go to settings, preferences, I think. And,
preferences, head
right
bobbing,
there.
weapon bobbing, there we go.
You can switch
settings.
completely
I'll
off.
completely switch them off for a moment. And if you don't mind, I'll increase the field of view a bit. Just get that true PC experience. Just to see what it looks like. Nice. Okay, let's try that. Continue. There we go. Oh yeah, now it's completely retro style. Oh yes.
Yeah, so I've got to
And
say here, I really hate how the game looks without the weapon bobbing. I mean, it just, for me, it kills the pacement of the player.
Sure, it's definitely more modern with the bobbing on, but yeah, of course, as an accessibility option, it's completely valid. I personally can't play the original Wolfenstein 3D because I get motion sickness from playing it, and I think it's got a lot to do with the field of view and the lack of proper bobbing. Although the weapons do bob a bit in Wolfenstein, they got a very simple animation there. Yeah, I'll decrease the field of view to.
I've got to say, I really love weapon bobbing, and because I love it so much, I have implemented 2 types of weapon bobbing, so you can switch between them if you really like. Actually, let's check it out.
Oh yeah, we've got 2 weapon bob types. I'll go
so the default one is the Return to Castle Wolfenstein type of weapon bob. So
let's
new
take
ID
a look
engine.
at it. Take a look at it. Okay.
And it's direct inspiration, basically, because I'm a huge fan of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. It's one of my favorite shooters. So
Who isn't? Who isn't? Okay. And the other one's a la Doom.
Guess what? So,
somebody's asking about a level editor. Well, that's a tall order.
Before we enter this area, wait a bit before you pick up this item, because this is kind of the next topic.
I think you have missed some important location in this level. You might want to go back.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Should I try to look for it myself, or would you like to direct me?
Just backtrack a little.
You can backtrack a little and look for...
I'll keep browsing, don't worry, don't mind me. There's plenty to see in the game.
Well, I think that's another thing we might want to address in the level design is to block the progression until a player finds this first area, because it's pretty important and it's very easy to
that's
miss
true.
right now.
All right. Okay. The level design is something I would like to mention in general because
Here, forward.
Go forward and right.
Through here.
Yep. And this is the area which you missed, and it's actually, I would say it's crucial to the game, but yeah, it's pretty important. So,
Okay, it's the first upgrade. What would you recommend, guys?
Personally, I think shotgun would be the best way to kick the things off. I mean,
Okay.
it's just my favorite, but I don't know. How about you, David?
Yeah, I think the harvester is pretty alright.
Okay, harvester adds another 2 barrels to the super shotgun. Double the gun, double the fun. Great in combination with all shot upgrade. Okay, let's go for that then. Bonk. There we go. Fantastic.
Yeah. So I think okay, it worked. All right.
Okay. So there's my first upgrade. Okay, so it's missable completely. If I went for the exit, I would have completely missed it. What I wanted to say about the level design is that it, to me personally, very reminiscent of Dark Souls, as in the level is very intertwined. It's not big by modern game standards, but the level itself is long because of all the alternating paths you can take. And the menu, it's very much like a labyrinth in that way. There's a lot to see, many paths to take, which all lead to different places and end up in the same final area in the end. So I take it it's a conscious design, of course, but how did you decide to go this route instead of more corridor approach of some other shooters?
Well, for start, we wanted to the first level to be more like a playground where we can just explore and wander about, because we figured this will be the most played level probably in the whole game, so you should have fun right away. So also, if you would like to stream it or see a let's play, you will always get something different and a different experience from it. That's one of the things. Not all levels will have this amount of alternate paths and some will be more linear than others, but the first level is pretty fun to just explore.
It's a surprising approach because most games go for simple and easy, and this is completely different. This is like an entire huge area, which is very interesting to see in a game. Very refreshing, I would even say. Does this break? It does break.
Yeah, it's a lot of secrets in this level also.
Actually, you can try and open the auto map, and you can read how many secrets there are to find. I'm not sure if there's a key bound. Oh, there it is. So. As you can see,
3 out of 15. Oh, I am bad at this game.
And you have 340 enemies to kill on the easy difficulty. It's not the easy difficulty. Sorry.
Okay, so I thought I'm done, but actually I've only just started. Okay, so I thought I'm close to finishing the level, but no, nowhere near that. Yeah, there is plenty to see and plenty to do. That is true.
So other levels are definitely a bit different. I would say each level is a different type of level. I mean, there are simpler levels and there are more complex levels. And I think each level has a bit different approach to how you play. Some are more linear, some are more complex. And it's, just to give you that additional, exploration thing where you can just look around and not just, follow a linear path, because after all, this is not a rail shooter, right?
Sure, yeah. Then it keeps things fresh if the game changes as you play it, so that's always a good thing.
Oh, and we also just to mention, we have a lot of cool secrets for those hardcore secret hunters.
Okay, oh, there's also a tiny map to open. That is fantastic. So,
Yep.
is there anything else you'd like me to see while I'm here?
Well, there's a lot of things to see, but I don't think we want to talk about it.
Okay, let's not spoil too much.
Yeah.
I'll try to make my way towards the end of the level in that case.
Yeah, so you can actually go back to the blue door you opened in this outdoor area. So you can go straight through the kitchen. Yeah, you can right there forward. Just goes.
Okie dokie.
Exactly.
Is it this way?
Yeah, you will get there this way too. So just go.
Oh
straight
yeah,
yeah,
the,
right.
the big red
You will
dot
get
to
there
the right.
eventually. Any
Oh,
path
yeah.
you take, you will get there
That's the
eventually.
big door. Okay,
Yeah.
there's the big area.
And this is the area which you don't have in the demo. So this is the extension which we added because we know that from the feedback we got, the outdoor areas are pretty cool and people want more of them. So we decided to also expand the first level with some cool outdoor areas.
Also, in the previous version of this level, the blue door were actually pretty easy to miss because they were a lot smaller and they weren't exposed very well.
Oh, they're quite big now. They're quite big.
Yeah, can't miss it.
All right, so we are now getting close to the first ability, which you will get as the player, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So the first ability is the Akimbo Ability. It allows the player to duplicate the weapon you have, and once you pick it up, you will have it enabled for 10 seconds, and once you switch the weapon, it drops basically. So you won't have it anymore. So when you use it, you really have to think about the weapon you pick to use the Akimbo with. And the more efficient you are with your Akimbo, the faster it will regenerate, so to say. And you will be able to use it once more. If you use the Akimbo on one monster, then you will have to wait a lot longer than if you use the Akimbo on a lot of monsters. So always make sure to use some tactics on it with it.
Sure. I think it's about time I go back to the Return to Castle Wolfenstein weapon bob type. What do you think, guys? Should I go ahead now?
Yeah, just have a go.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. There we go. Double Akimbo. Triple Akimbo.
62 combo, 72. Nice. We'll get 80.
Yeah. You see those green pickups? This will regenerate the cooldown of the Akimbo.
Okie dokie.
Now, yeah, so now you can use it again.
Yeah, so basically you just recovered the whole Akimbo.
You can also manage it by ending this ability quicker, so you save the energy.
Okay, makes total sense. Okie dokie. So, while playing on the controller, the abilities are selected with the D-pad, but the bindings can be easily changed, which I found out yesterday while testing the game. So, so you guys know everything in the game can be binded to whatever buttons you want, to the best of my knowledge, which is very useful as well. And
When
a great
it comes to
accessibility
binding,
option.
you can also zoom in and zoom out the mini map and the auto map. I'm not sure if it's bounded to the gamepad, but on the keyboard you can do it, definitely.
Would you guys mind if I popped into the settings to showcase the binding abilities, just so you can take a look at that? Is that alright?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's take a look. Control settings. Yeah, because there's plenty of things to bind. We get your default weapons. When playing on a controller, I tend to switch weapons with the bumpers, but it's also possible to bind individual weapons, and if you're playing keyboard and mouse, that's bound by default as well. So yes, there's zoom in, zoom out, toggle mini-map, auto-map, and quick save and quick load if you're one of those players. I used to be one of those players. Quick save every 5 seconds.
So I think it's an interesting topic to talk about because if someone is watching the stream for the first time, or if someone haven't heard about Project Warlock 2 yet, and you're hearing about the game for the first time today, well, the first game did not have any manual saves, and in Project Warlock 2 we have a real save system. So you can quick save, you can auto save, you can do manual saves and everything. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting thing for a lot of people.
Well, I think people will be very impressed by the amount of changes from the first game in many different areas. It's like a completely new experience in general. It's like we were talking about it yesterday. I compared it to the evolution of the genre in general, going from more Wolfenstein-like gameplay design to games of the Quake era. Which,
Watch out for the barrels.
yeah, too late. Okay. I messed this up. I used the wrong weapon.
Oh, but you still have managed to recover the Akimbo.
Oh, good for me. I wanted to be a badass, and that's what it gets me.
It is pretty good.
Goodbye. Oh, there's more.
Oh yeah. So there's another interesting thing about the enemies. The AI is also something we really worked on. And for example, when you have those basic ghouls type of zombies, we really did a cool thing there, because zombie is a very basic monster which can only be, you know, which is not very dangerous, so to say. But once they get in a pack together, like 5, 6, or 7 of them, they will increase their running speed. So if you don't shoot them, if you don't kill them, they will gather in a group and they will be a lot faster and more dangerous.
Oh, I see.
So that's an interesting thing we did to make the basic monsters also dangerous if you don't, you know, keep track of them.
Sure.
Yeah, one thing you might have noticed here is this interaction prompt, which is not working. It's not working because this door is actually opened by a button, and this is a bug, since we forgot to remove the interaction prompt from the door itself. So you gotta find the button. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Oh, I guess that's a good time as ever to remind people that we're still. It's still not a complete game. It's still on track to be available in early access soon, but it's still in progress, and there's bound to be minor bugs all over the place. So please don't worry about them. They will get ironed out by the final release. I really want that piece of armor though.
Yeah, so this piece of armor is actually a secret here. It's a tiny secret, but, you know, it's a secret. There's even a bigger secret here.
There we go.
There you go, heavy armor. I mean, actually, it's not heavy armor, it's the big armor. We'll hopefully get to the heavy armor too, because...
probably, but no in my abilities.
Actually, the armor system is another cool thing to talk about. Because it's a simple thing, but we have decided to add it recently, I would say, this year.
Button?
Yeah, so there's the button. But the armor system is something that this game did not have like half a year ago. Or a year ago, I would say, somewhere around that. We have decided to add the armor system to improve the gameplay and make it more interesting. Because you only had the health bar, and we thought that sometimes we are unable to place heavy monsters against the player if the player doesn't have much armor. Oh, and by the way, here you just have seen those ghouls acting all berserk on the player. Yeah, but coming back to the armor system, it's something we wanted to add to improve the gameplay and give a feeling of, you know, being more tough. And to also obviously have more items for the player to pick up.
Oh snap!
Oh, and this is the part where you might die.
Come on, I'm a pro gamer.
All right, nice. Very good.
It's an skill. It's not that bad, really.
Well, to be honest, I was hoping I would die just to make it a bit more fun, but here we are.
You can always try the other. The hardest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the armor basically consists of 2 types of armor. You have blue armor and yellow armor. And the blue armor takes 33% of damage away from your health. I mean, if you would get 10 damage to the health, our blue armor would take 3 and you would get 7 damage. And yellow armor takes 50% of damage, so it has a higher protection rate. But if you have yellow armor and then you pick up the blue armor, you lose the yellow armor. So the only way to actually constantly keep your yellow armor active is to collect those armor shards, which change their color regarding to the armor type you are currently wearing. So this is an interesting mechanic to manage the items you see on the level, and it's not like you can run and pick everything up if you want to play most efficiently. So as you can see, these helmets are blue, but if you get the yellow armor, they would be yellow.
They'll turn yellow. Okay.
Yeah, basically yes.
So that requires a level of intelligence I'm currently incapable of. But
it's a bit too early in the game.
We might see it later.
We have definitely placed some heavy armors usually, but there are also some secrets with the heavy armor. If you want to find more often, you have to look for secrets.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, so that's a way to reward the player for secret hunting. And you're currently in I would say the second part of the first level, and I would say that this level actually consists of 4 parts. So you have the first part, the upper castle. You have the second part, the dungeons, which you're currently in. The third part, which we're going to see later. I won't spoil that for you. And
okay.
There's very, very obvious thing coming at the end, but I won't say. So.
Okay. Can I just say that these levels are huge? They're immense. Let's take a look. We've been at it for... I'm getting...
Something is eating you alive. Okay.
We've been sitting in the first level for over half an hour now, and I'm still exploring and finding new tiny things to see and do, and I find it to be amazing. Could you tell me a little bit about the challenges of making a modern game that looks and feels like a retro game? It must be very tempting to just modernize it every now and then, doesn't it?
It's a balancing game of how many modern features and visual effects can you fit inside until it starts looking really bad.
Sure, because look, the lighting here, it's obviously modern lighting, but it's made to look old school, old style, so it fits very well. It's really tricky to find out a balance, right?
This style of lighting is very tricky to do specifically with pixel art. If you don't know what you're doing, or if you do a wrong kind of textures, or it will look very flat, like it will look like a wallpaper, literally. Because this is why this kinds of games cannot be too realistic. You need to stylize it. This is why we apply a specific color filter that introduces some of the visible color banding on the walls, for example. When you see them, there is not a smooth gradient from dark color to the light. There is some bending. It's a little not so subtle, but it's also not so rough.
You can actually adjust it. You can check it in the visual options.
Sure, you can do this. So you can see what I mean. You can turn it off and see how it looks, and crank it up to 11.
Okay. Is that?
That's in the post-processing. Yeah, it's the color shader opacity.
Opacity.
Okay. Let's go to one.
Yeah. The 30% is a kind of a sweet spot.
Oh wow! Okay, I can see the difference now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this
is
definitely interesting.
With maxed out filter, the game is running at 32 colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
It actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, but it's again, the visibility suffers a bit.
Yes, it does.
In the more dark locations, it suffers a lot. So it's a balancing.
Once we go to 0, it turns. It's completely gone. It turns completely.
I think the game looks a bit more flat without it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. When you look at the walls, you have a feeling that they are it's made of cardboard.
True. Yeah.
It's because of the lighting and also the ambient occlusion effect. It's the more realistic. These effects are more realistic. This is why you have to stylize the game to make it work, and to like merge all the make all the game elements work together.
Is it something you were aware of when working on the game, or is it more something that you came up with due to trial and error, trying different things out?
Of that, well, in the first game, we were starting out from pixel art, from pure pixel art.
Mhm.
Then we added, when we tried adding lighting. Then we tried. I was specifically wanted to display this color in a lower palette, so this filter was something that we had to introduce to the game. We had to look up how to do it and how to make it work, and we experimented a lot. This is why the first game has this distinct look to it, because this is where it started. We wanted to because we also used this kind of lighting in the first game and a similar graphic style. This is just an extension of this. We're building up, building upon what we started in the first game.
True, it's a whole learning process basically.
Yeah, and we'll trying to see how far we can push it to improve it, and it's very tricky because when we pushed it too far, we had to redo a lot of stuff. I was redoing these textures from scratch a lot of times. Same with monster designs. I had to adapt them to the a completely new method for this game, because monsters in the first game were hand drawn. Mm-hmm. And here I am using pre-rendered 3D models that I had to also stylize very heavily so they work inside the game.
You seem to be reading my mind, because I was wondering, that was my next question. I was about to ask, how was the monster effect achieved? Because it's obviously 2D, right? It's 2D sprites, but they're generated from 3D models. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that explains why they move so nice and smoothly. As I was trying to figure out if it's hand-drawn, if it's a combination of some techniques, but it's basically how they used to do isometric games, right? They would make 3D models and just rotate them and just take pictures of them. Is that something similar that you do here?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a game of balance. You need to find a right combination of quality and efficiency to make it work. Because if you wanted to, we could do all the monsters like we did in the first game, to just make each frame by hand, but that would result in they wouldn't be as smooth as they are now, because right now a single monster has like several hundred frames, because you need to see them from multiple sides. In the first game, they were only seen from the front.
Mm-hmm.
And they have multiple death animations. That's also another thing that's new.
They had only one death animation. Do I get this right? Yeah, monsters had only one death animation.
Yeah.
And maybe one extra animation for burning. But
for burning there was one, but it was universal.
It was universal, and universal animation for I think the overkill. Also. Yeah. But the amount of animations and the frames were very low, so this is why I was able to pull it off. And this is also why, because there was very few frames, we could do so many of the monsters for the first game. It's like about, how many was it, 70?
Yeah, I think it was 72, and this is something we wanted to do because since we had
roboting.
I think it might be the internet connection. Hello?
Yeah, okay.
I can hear you fine. You're fine.
It works now. It fixed.
Okay, so when it comes to the monsters in the first game, the monsters were pretty simple. They had simple AI. They had simple, animations. We really wanted to keep things simple, and because of that, we at least wanted to have a lot of them. So the first game has 72 enemies. Project Warlock 2 in the beginning had, I think, also not many monsters, but right now we found a very efficient way to create new monsters and a good way to make the art style look good on them. And thanks to that, okay, wait a second here now, because something big is about to happen, right?
Uh-oh, okay.
So just to say, this is basically the boss arena which you're entering, and this is the yellow armor I talked about.
I'll track back for a little bit so you can finish talking about the monsters.
Yeah, so we managed to, exactly what David said, we spent a lot of time on working on the way of making a very interesting look to those sprites, despite them being designed in 3D. And it took us a lot of effort and time to do that, to create the framework and the whole structure of doing those sprites. But I think we are right now in a very good spot with a good base to improve in the future. Just to sum things up.
Okay, my question now is am I allowed to swear on this live stream? Because I would like to ask, how effed am I if I carry on? Should I go into the boss arena then?
Yes, but
there's a checkpoint here, so you can go.
I think there is a tiny bug in this build where this door, which just opened, won't close. So please don't run away from the boss here.
Okay, I'll do my best. Not to try.
Avoid running away through these doors which you just came in through, because
okay,
it should close.
Okay. Oh, now I'm stressed out. Okay. There he is, the Turbo Knight.
You better watch out for his rockets. He's going to eat your health really quick.
Oh yeah, there I am. Okay. I was not expecting, this difficulty so fast. Okay, fine, we can do this. Right, all right. Now I'll just have to backtrack a bit. Let's see. I might be ready. Okay, I'll give it another go. Why not?
He shoots a combination of 3 rockets every time he aims, so you have to watch out for that. But if you do it well with the auto harvester, you can kill him.
You're blowing your cover. Oh, never mind.
That was nice.
Okay, that's the yellow armor. There we go.
Yeah, that's the power of the Akimbo power up.
Yeah, Akimbo's really good. I used it well for once, so so there we go.
As you can see on the HUD, the armor bar is also yellow now. So as long as you don't pick up the blue armor, it will stay yellow armor, and you will have the 50% damage reduction.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. That's very cool. I'll backtrack a bit just to read one of the comments, because Vulpes the Fox put it very nicely. The retro look and feeling is the essence of Warlock, and I'm glad to see it brought to the next level in the sequel. And I couldn't agree more. It's a very good sentiment. Yeah, the game looks great, and it's looking to be a fantastic follow-up.
We're trying our best, right, David?
Yeah, a lot of this is work in progress. We are still figuring out a better weapon upgrade system. We're trying to figure out how to better implement the combo system. We have some ideas regarding the difficulty system. A lot of stuff we need to see if they work.
Yep, so this is exactly what early access is going to be for. Player feedback, and improving the game to make it the best possible Warlock game ever.
Also, I mentioned that there were about 70 kinds of types of monsters in the previous game. With the system I have developed for this game, with the 3D models, I think we will be able to pull a similar number here. So expect a lot of different kinds of monsters here also. Because
David,
fantastic
we
to
can
hear.
we could actually spoil the do you think we could spoil the number of the monsters we have in the first episode? Do you think we could do that?
yeah, I think we can.
I think that's pretty interesting. I think it's around. I'm not sure because it's a lot, but if I'm counting correctly, David, is it somewhere around 20 for the first episode?
Yeah, with all the mini bosses.
Yeah, I think it might be somewhere around 20. So if we count the first, if we count together the episodes and updates and everything we do until the full release, we will get to that number from the first game easily, I guess.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, see, this is why the 3D models were kind of important, because this is the only way we are able to work efficiently. And this is why we had to spend a lot of time to try to make them look as much stylized, as much resembling what... So you can look at them and say, yep, this looks like it belongs in a Project Warlock game.
Sure. Guys, that exit sign is looking very tempting. Should I
Yeah,
approach it?
just go for it. Just go.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie, because it looks like it's pulling me in, so I'm just gonna go ahead.
I'll make the music louder. It's going to be cool.
There we go. Secret cameos, what's that all about?
We don't want to spoil that.
Haha, okay. Okay, that's great.
But we can talk about the bestiary.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so compared to the first game, this time around we actually have a bestiary right now. And you can collect entries throughout the game and learn about the monsters. So I think you could open it up.
I don't think there will be anything in it, sure.
Yeah, it's
how
pretty empty.
how do you collect the entries?
You collect the entries, guess what? By finding secrets.
Oh no, that means I missed a secret. It makes me very sad because I'm one of those people who just licks walls and does everything in a game. So this will be a very painful game for me to play. And I just picked up a blue collectible.
Yeah, new enemy.
Oh,
My
there
favorite.
spiders. Super cute.
Yeah, they're actually... These spiders are pretty small, but I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of tiny monsters in first-person shooters. So we have these small spiders, but they're still big enough for you to hit them pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
So we are using them sparingly.
Yeah.
No. Not like in some other games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got friends who are not very fond of spiders, and there's games that they just can't play. I think these would be fine. These are cute.
We are thinking of implementing some kind of arachnophobia mode that will replace the spiders with something else, or maybe we will just make the spiders super cute.
Oh yeah, you should replace them with little bunnies or something. That would be awesome.
I think we could talk a little bit about the level design, because this is, I think, something completely different compared to the first level, right?
Yes,
right off the bat.
Yeah, out of the bat we got a big open space compared to the more roomy nature of the previous level. Yeah, go on ahead. I'll be happy to hear about it.
Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, this was my first attempt to make a forest style level. It will be updated because since I started, this is one of the first levels I made. It's already after some huge overhauls, and I will be doing another huge overhaul to this level because I just recently learned how to make a proper forest level. So this is your chance to see how one of my first attempts at the first level looks, and you will be able to compare it to the improved version later down the line.
Okay, are you planning for the change to be just visual, or are you planning to redo the entire design of the level in that case?
Certain parts of the green parts, I will have to redo some of the geometry, so because I have a new technique, whole new technique I had to develop to make it work. Like I said, doing this kind of game is tricky. You need to find certain tricks and workarounds to make things work. For example, I could make a level by just planting trees everywhere, but it turns out that 2D trees take up a lot of memory and computing energy from the from the computer, because it's like computers don't like to render so many separate objects on the screen.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, so but I already found a nice way to.
There's a new monster.
Yeah,
Another
there's a
new
nice
monster.
big knight.
Is that the new mods? Oh, alright. There weren't knights in the first level.
Yes,
I do.
because this is something we could talk about. First of all, Knight has a very slow rotation ratio, so the best way to avoid his attacks is to just run around him. This basically makes him, easy to counter. But if you stay at one place, he will just kill you very fast because the rockets deal a lot of damage. But when it comes to the mini boss we had in the first level, I actually implemented a very cool thing here, because the mini bosses are actually part of the whole idea of introducing monsters to the player. First, we had the Turbo Knight as the mini boss, and once you kill the mini boss, you will actually have new monsters of this type throughout the game. Now, once you go through the second level, you will have another mini boss, which will introduce even more monsters in the third level. So this is how we came to it, and you're just making the knight looking miserable.
I'm a little bit annoyed with him because he just killed the ghoul with the rocket.
Well, at least you can.
I think I'll put him out of his misery now.
Well, at least you can enjoy the animation. It's very not oftentimes you can just sit back and see how the enemy looks, because he's not very efficient in killing you right away.
Yeah, it's a great design as well. I really like the rotation on him. Like
Yeah, this is something we were not able to do in the first game, for example, because
Yep.
doing rotations by hand for all the monsters will just, it would be not feasible.
It would not look even good, I guess. It would be hard to stay true to the perspective, I think.
Yeah, it would be very, very difficult.
let's see, I've been here before.
There's a very cool question on the chat, I see. I just saw that the knight got hit by the sword and lost health points gradually. Is there a bleeding system on monsters? Well, yes, there is a bleeding system, and even we got bleeding system, and other than that, we also got a burning system. So monsters can burn, and they will also lose life gradually. And there's also a very cool system to the burning system, which will make monsters enter a panic mode at certain health point level, and they will act like in Blood. They will just scream and run around, and after some point they will burn to the ground.
This is really awesome.
Hopefully we will have a chance to see that. I'm not sure, because you would have to go a bit farther into the game to get access to that, to those fire weapons with fire damage. But we will see how far we get, or maybe we'll have a chance to see a monster burn in lava or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, we definitely got a bleeding system, and also we got a very complicated resistance system to the monsters. So each monster has a 3 hitbox system: head, body, and legs. And not only that, but each monster has a resistance type system. So some monsters are more resistant to piercing damage and locational damage, like Bonies are very resistant to legs, piercing legs, so they have tough armor on their legs. And knights are, for example, tough against the sword, so you can't really use sword efficiently on the knights. And this system also contains magic damage, fire damage, frost damage, explosive damage, crushing damage from cannonballs, for example, and a lot of other things. So there's a lot to this system. And you just got slowed down by...
I just go webbed.
Yeah.
You got slowed down. Yeah, so there's a lot to it.
I've just opened up a new area which I'm refusing to go to because it looks scary. So for now, I'm just running around here.
All I can assure you, this area is not scary as it looks. But you better prepare for what's about to happen once you pick up that key.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you got the Akimbo ready. Make sure you got everything ready.
I guess I'll die. Oh,
Oh, we got the pig demon, we got the ghouls. And we got the imps and everything.
Oh, and a huge spider.
Yeah, the Weaver. It's the
Nice.
worst one. Yeah, so
Haha.
this is the red key area, and I don't know if you can remember, but the area that you could have access with the red key was the area near the beginning, the church thing. So I think also one thing that we are constantly trying to improve upon is the landmarks thing. Because this is also an important aspect of the level design, and having landmarks which actually... Oh.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Having the landmarks in each level is pretty important, and we, I think we are trying our best to do that. Of course, there is place for improvement and everything, but okay, it seems like you did not save the game, right?
Yeah, I'm not a saver right now. But don't worry.
But
Give me a second. I won't be.
Just to let you know, the red key area is really fast to get to. We just had a lot of talking, so.
Yeah, I'll just get back to it.
Yeah, although there should be a checkpoint there. We need to check it out because something did not work right.
But I would not. I think we don't have an autosave checkpoint for the red key because it's not that far into the level. So I'm not sure if. I think it's just not there.
Yeah,
because it takes like 2 minutes to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just playing with the knight for too long. That's alright.
I think the first autosave in this level is once you get to the red church. Once you got the red key. I'm not sure, but that's what I think. So, but we can already see that you're playing way better. You're playing really good.
Oh, maybe that's the case.
Oh, as you can see, the sword wasn't as effective against the knight.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I had to change weapons. Here we are.
And yeah, let's talk maybe about the feedback we got from the playtests. I think that's a cool thing to talk about. The damage indication is a thing we just improved, and in the version you're playing compared to the demo, is pretty different because you can see the pulsating red edges around the camera. They're indicating that you are low on health, and we also have this cool directional damage compass, which actually moves dynamically when you're rotating. And this is something that was not existent in the demo and is not to this day. So there's a lot of tiny things that we are constantly improving on. And we got the red doors again. Red key, sorry.
I'll try not to die this time around. Did my best. There we go. Okay. I think I'm good. I'll try to backtrack now. And I'll try not to sit in the lava while looking at the map. That would be a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some places you could explore here too if you want. There's actually, you know what? There's a cool thing we could show. There's a bestiary entry which you can pick up. It's not a huge secret, so I think we could show that just for the sake of the bestiary. You could go to the right and try to find the outside area.
To the right.
Yeah, to the right from the lava pool.
Okay. It should be this area.
Exactly. So you just have a look around and see what you can find.
Yeah, I'll pick up some health and armor because I'm a bit low. That's a cool statue, by the way.
There's a question about the achievements. We do have some cool achievements in the game planned. Like, I think I could spell that too. There's an achievement for killing the knight with the sword.
There it is.
Yep. And you can guess what the bestiary is about. It's about the pig demon. So that's an example encounter of the bestiary. So
Okay, myself.
now if you pause the game, you can actually go to the bestiary and read about it. I mean, I don't think we should read about it the complete thing, but we can just have a look at it.
Let's just see if I can. Yeah,
Oh yeah, there it is. Pig
there it
demon.
is. Okay, cool.
Yep. So
I'm
can-
just gonna browse through it and I'm gonna read the whole thing.
if
So not to spoil
someone
the
wants, you can read it. We can read in the bestiary about the vulnerabilities, about the strengths of each monster. So I think it is worth finding them, because it will definitely help you master the game and improve your high scores once you get to know, their strengths and weaknesses of each
Fantastic.
monster.
Fantastic. Okay, I'll be heading towards that door now. I'm just collecting some things just to regain some health.
Yeah, so this is the area which you will have to come back later eventually, because this is the area which then follows to the yellow door, and this is something we tried to do in the game. We tried to actually make the areas reused. I mean, in a way that you're not only visiting each place once, so to say, right, David?
Yeah, they kind of circle back on themselves.
So that makes it basically the hub for this level, for this part of the level, right? You just
So to say,
visit it multiple times. Okay, so there's another key that I'll need.
Yeah. This is why it's also a tricky and important aspect of the level design, to design the level in such a way where the player can navigate it even without using the map. So we just look at the location. Okay, I kind of know where I am, and where I have to go now. This is it's difficult. Yeah, but it's something we're aiming for.
Sometimes visiting the same area might confuse the player, but I think it's also a good. Oh, there's another upgrade station. You can upgrade the rifle if you want. I think, or the claymore.
I'd go for the rifle just for the visual effects. What do we go for? Laser rifle or heavy rifle, guys?
It's your call.
I'll go for the laser one. Why not? Upgrades the rifle to laser rifle, removes recoil and increases damage. Sure. That sounds like fun.
When it comes to the laser rifle itself, in this build we have a small bug there where there are no hit effects on the bullets, sadly, but it's already fixed and it's currently in testing mode. So
Goodbye, Knight.
First to blood, so
Come on.
that should be good.
Oh no!
Oh, I think the Skelly got you with the sword.
Is that? Oh, please tell me it's saved.
Yeah, but it should be safe around here. Yeah.
Phew. Okay. Oh, I get to change my choice then. I'll go for the heavy rifle in that case. That'll make me not die this time around. There we go. Goodbye.
And just remember that we do like placing monsters on your back when you pick when some events happen.
Oh yeah.
I know people might not like it as much, but we try to balance it between good amount and bad amount.
Oh no, it's good. It's good. It keeps you moving. Because in a lot of games it's very easy to just get this feeling of corridor gameplay where you just keep pushing ahead.
Yeah, that's what we think too.
Yeah,
that's also a point of an ambush. You have to ambush the player and not make him feel too comfortable.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, there's the heavy armor.
There we go. And there's some.
So sometimes the heavy armor is possible to find within the level, like without the secrets. So we are not making the player having to go secret hunting. So you can, but you don't have to. That's essentially. We're trying to do as balancing of it. So you do get a benefit of finding secrets, but if you don't, you should not get any so to say losses because of that. At least we're trying to, and we will definitely have to improve on a lot of aspects in this regard. Placing items and everything. This is exactly what early access is going to be for. Well,
I'll tell you from my experience that for an early access game, it's looking really good. I've seen some full releases less completed in this early access build, so you guys are right on track with that.
Thank you. Trying our best. Okay, I see another cool question. Is there one upgrade per level or is it less consistent? Actually, this is something handcrafted by us because when it comes to the campaign, we want you to have a full campaign experience, and the whole campaign in the early access is going to be a complete thing, so to say. And basically going through the levels is a consistent thing. So you're upgrading your arsenal throughout the whole campaign, just like in the first game. But we have actually counted the proper amount of the upgrade stations so that you will have your arsenal fully upgraded by the time. Okay, you did that a bit too early.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so we are trying to balance it out, and we are trying to make the player have a good range of upgrades throughout the campaign, and we want for the player to have a full upgraded arsenal before the final boss and before the final level. So it's definitely it's different. On the first level you have only one upgrade station. I think on the second level you have two. And it varies between levels. So I hope that answers your question.
I've got a cannonball now.
Yeah, you've got a new weapon. It's a cannon.
Bounces.
It has a very cool mechanic, which I personally really love, and I think David likes it really, really much too. Basically, it is a gravity-driven projectile, and it really requires a bit of skill to use properly, but it's very powerful. So it's a very cool weapon.
I'm one of those people who stare directly in the barrel of a gun. So before I do something stupid, tell me, can you inflict damage upon yourself?
You can try it out.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, phew. Okay. Because I was really tempted to try it, but didn't want to insta-give myself. Okie dokie.
No, you cannot pick up the cannonballs because first of all, you got the ammo drops from monsters when you use the sword, and second of all, there's plenty of ammo in the level. So, yeah.
Yeah, in the current version, the cannon uses the rockets pickups. We will be because initially cannon is a version of a rocket launcher. You can even upgrade it to a rocket launcher. We will probably be having a separate weapon for this, and it will have a proper cannonball pickups. But right now you just need to know that when you're picking up rockets, it's for the cannon.
David, if actually it's halfway solved because when you pick up the ammo, it says you picked up heavy ammo. So this is halfway solved, so to say.
Visually.
Visually, it's rockets, but we have a lot of cool plans for the arsenal. But we really want to hit that early access and start from there with cool things. And,
something very basic. This current version of the weapon progression system is very basic.
Yeah, you can trust us that we are going to work a lot on the weapon progression system and on the weapons, because I know you guys love weapons. We love weapons. We really want to make this as good as possible. So this is what we are starting with, and it's just a starting point, so to say.
Okay, tell me, guys, should I be backtracking now to the beginning of the level, or did I miss the third key somewhere?
You can follow the river actually now, since you got the yellow key.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's the right key for the door. Okay, so I didn't miss a third key. Good.
Yeah, so you got the monsters, and they also tell you, oh, that's a nice hit. So the cannonball actually kills the knight almost always with one shot.
If you aim for the head, the headshots are pretty deadly with this weapon.
It's also pretty hard to hit because the knight has a pretty small head. But once you
you have to account for gravity. It's a trick shot weapon.
Yeah,
that's why it's so satisfying to nail the headshot with a cannonball.
It's a very cool weapon, but it does take some getting used to. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so you have this corridor here, and then you have the button which opens the gate.
Ah, bong.
It's a step button.
Yep, it's already on. Okie dokie. Perfect.
And now we are going to go through the sewers right into the heat of the moment of the battle. Because when it comes to the...
sewers, it's just...
You guys like scaring me, right?
Actually, I wanted to get into the lore a bit.
Okay, go on ahead.
Just a little bit, just to give you a small glimpse, because there's still a lot of work in progress on that. But basically, you know, as you might have noticed, there's an alien or monster evil invasion. And the village, which you're just about to enter, is also under invasion. And we added... Oh wait, I forgot to make that window bigger.
It's alright.
Yeah, you know, everyone.
No, it's good. You're not supposed to go this way. You should go here.
Yeah, but you know, the village is under the invasion, and you will see something pretty cool. And I'll just wait before I say it. But yeah, there's this place here.
Don't pick up.
Yeah, don't pick up the blue armor.
Yeah, I tried to avoid it.
Yeah.
Hello.
I actually, I think you might improve this armor system a bit because it's very easy to just accidentally pick up armor. So we will be working on that.
Yeah, it's straight from Doom.
That's why I slowed it down, just to make sure I wouldn't get... Hello there. Poor human.
Yeah, but this is exactly what I was talking about. You have these human NPCs, and it's up to you if you help them or you kill them. It's, you know, we are giving the player, so to say, a free hand on that. It's, you know, just to make the game a bit more immersive.
Sure, they don't look too happy with the invasion either, I can tell.
And
there's another upgrade.
There's another upgrade. And I would recommend buying the all-shot upgrade for the harvester, because it really makes the harvester, you know, like a huge machine, killing machine. But you can also look for another upgrade if you want.
Oh, there's also a cannon upgrade. And no, I'll go for the all-shot. It sounds really nice. Adds the possibility to fire all barrels at the same time.
Yep.
Bonk. There we go.
And now if you use the Akimbo with that, you'll have 8 shotgun shells shot at once.
That is deadly.
And you can literally blast biggest monsters in seconds. So if you use that correctly, of course.
That sounds fantastic. I can't wait to fail miserably. Uh-oh, there we go.
Oh, and you just found something.
I've seen it through a window somewhere in the previous level, a similar path.
So yeah, we have jump pads. And we have...
bestiary. Oh, I found a cameo, I think.
Yep, exactly. You found a cameo. And you found another bestiary scroll. So just to talk about that again, you can actually find bestiaries in the secrets if you just guys join to the stream. There are different bestiaries you can find about the monsters and their stats and everything. So this time around you found the bestiary about the humans. I think it's the least important bestiary, but it's also pretty cool because, you know, lore and stuff and everything. So
sure.
So yeah, but here we are at the village, and soon you will gain access to another utility, to another spell. So
exciting!
It's pretty cool. It adds a lot of new gameplay aspects once you get it. So
okay,
we'll see if you get there.
Is there's 3 slots on the screen? Is that the amount of abilities you got in the game, or is there more?
We have planned 3 abilities per character as of now. So the main idea behind that is to have accessibility for your fingers, so to say. We didn't want to put too many utilities under keys, because that would make you having to have a lot of key bindings, and that would make the game harder to play. And we don't want to go the route where you have too many key bindings and where it's just too frustrating to use, because you have to find the key on the keyboard and everything is using its own key. So we simplified that, and we settled on three utilities as of now.
There's a great.
Although we might be experimenting with some passive abilities.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that sounds great. There's a cool question in the comments. David, what was your favorite monster that we have seen to design?
My favorite monster. I really like the imps. There will be several kinds of imps and demons type creatures in the game. These are very fun to model and to animate.
That's getting very busy here.
Yeah, I'm also personally very happy how they turned out. The previous, if you've seen the previous imps, how they looked in the demo, for example, yeah, they weren't too pretty, but I was learning.
Okay, so do you think this is the final iteration on the monster designs?
In sense of general art style, yes, I think we will be sticking with this and just trying to. The way I'm doing it, it's easy to improve on the monsters. This is why I was able to make changes and export all the sprites. Whoa, I have to develop a whole process for that. But yeah,
there we go.
But it's fairly easy to modify, to build upon it, what I have, and to improve it. But I think the most of what we already have, most of them look pretty alright.
Oh, I think they look great. You guys are being incredibly modest, to be honest. Playing through the game and hearing how modest you are about everything you've done. Like, the game is really good. And it's, from what you're telling me, far from being finished. And I can already tell you it's great fun. So I think people will be very happy when they get their hands on it.
Well, we are still learning a lot of stuff. We are not.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot to learn.
A lot of this is just figuring out how this works. There are, we can't compare ourselves even to some modders from games like Doom, who spent like 20 years honing their skills, and some of the stuff they have made, it just blows your brain out.
True. Some mods are just, these total conversions. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is something we are very much inspired by, and we try to get as close as possible to the level of quality. But yeah, we are also trying to make something a bit different.
Do I go for the ability, guys?
You can pick it up. It won't turn itself on. It's, you can pick it up and read the tutorial.
Okay, this is your second cooldown ability. Casting it will freeze enemies around you for a short period of time. Once the cooldown is over, you can reuse it. If on cooldown, make sure to build up combos. Monsters will drop cooldown items. Fantastic.
Yep. Exactly.
I'll try to use it at some point, and this time I'll try to use it properly and not mess it up. That would be great.
Also, it wasn't mentioned in the tutorial, frozen monsters take more damage.
Oh yeah, that's true. This is something I think we should add to the tutorial.
Yeah. There will be more features and more to this spell in the future.
Oh, I almost
will be much more interesting when we build upon it.
Yeah, well, all that we could say in this regard, David, is that we really have to make sure that the stuff that we work on is working, and we can actually do it. So we don't want to add stuff that we are not sure that it will work. So we are constantly learning, and it's it's a process, right? It takes time. It takes time, and so far everything you can see is something that took us a lot of time to do, and hopefully you guys will like it, and we will see how it goes from there.
Oh, there we go. Goodbye,
night.
Yeah.
There we go. Another fight with the monsters at the village. Once you go back with the blue key, and yeah.
Ah, there he is.
And now, if you use exactly. So frozen monsters are very vulnerable to different kind of damage. I think I'm not sure about that, but I think even the knight is vulnerable to the sword when it's frozen. So
Okay.
it's a very useful item.
It is. It is. I'm pretty sure if I was a better player, I could even make a pretty cool combo with the Akimbo as well, just to finish it off. You can just pretend, people watching the live stream, you can just pretend I've done a cool combo, and I can assure you that that's how great it looks in the game.
Yeah, so this is something that I think we still have. I'm not sure if you're looking for the next place to go, but I am pretty sure that this is something we really have to improve in this level.
Okay.
Is after you open the blue door, we need to better indicate where to go, because a lot of we got some feedback that once you enter the blue door, it really does not indicate as much where you should go next. So let's just see if you can find the way to progress.
Okay, because I was quite busy collecting collectibles. But I would assume if the door's opened, I would assume I should go probably somewhere this way. Uh-oh.
Well, you had the blue doors for some reason, right? In that at that house.
Come on.
When it comes to the armor again, sometimes it's a strategical option to do, because right now you have
I've got two.
You got two yellow armor, and now the player has to think whether it's at this point is it worth picking up the blue armor and have a lot of weaker armor, or do you have time to pick up a lot of armor shards? So it's also a strategical choice, because you have to decide whether you need a lot of armor now, or you just need you have time to collect the armor shards to build back the yellow armor again. So sometimes it's worth to collect the shards, and sometimes you just have to get anything, even if you have yellow armor. So it really depends on the situation.
Sure. I guess I shouldn't have backtracked all the way here. Should I have?
Let me just guide you a little bit there. You have to go back to the village, and you should go back to the blue doors you opened. That's the place which is not really indicated, and this is something that I have noticed recently. Maybe the house is, because you have the blue doors, but inside the house, this area is not really marked in any way, so
there we go.
I think it will need some improvement.
And the end is gone.
And in some way, this makes sense, because this is like a backdoor entrance to the church, so it shouldn't be like signposted.
Yeah, true.
But this is the thing about level design. Not everything that's logical translates to gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. And this is always the thing. Do we want to make it look believable, or do we want to make it playable? And we have to balance these two things, because sadly, real locations not always make for good gameplay. And
they usually don't.
Yeah, this is sadly the case with level design, and I know that it takes a lot of iterations to work on that, and David can, say that too. The levels took, they will always take a lot of design time, and just like I said with the release of the first game, a level design takes really, I would say 60-70% of the dev time, because you really gotta spend that time on the environments. You really gotta build those correct ways of traveling through the level, and it's a lot of time. Now here we are right before the second boss fight.
Okay.
And
just stock up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yep. So in case you die, you can actually save the game. I'm not sure if it auto-saved. I did not see.
Should I go for a quick save?
You can do a quick save. We can test it out.
Game saved.
Yep. So yeah, I won't tell you who's that. Just have a go at it. Just make sure you look at the front because he has cool particle effects when he spawns.
Okay. Oh, there we go. The Uber Shambler. Oh my.
Yeah.
I take it I can't freeze him, but I can go Akimbo on him. Oh wow. Okay, now he made quick work of me. Okay.
Yep.
I think
And
you should be able to freeze him.
yeah, you should
give
be
it a
able to
shot.
freeze him.
I'll give him a shot.
Yeah, this what spells are for. It would make no sense to teach the player to use those spells, and then in the most important moment, whoops, we are useless now.
Well, it still needs balancing, but I think it works pretty good because at least he's not attacking you.
Yeah.
And you know, Shambler has this hit scan attack, so you should hide behind something when he raises arms up.
Okay.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I can see now.
But also the boss music is change. I mean, the music changes when you encounter the bosses. You have some different tracks for that. I think you should be able to kill him. It looks like you're on a good way to win that boss fight. Very close.
so close,
Very
come on.
close. Very close. Don't step on the spikes, and you did it. Awesome.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. That was tense, but yeah, here we are. He's dead.
Yep. So
I'll just make sure just to be certain. Yeah, I think he's down. Okay.
just to point
That
that
was
out,
exciting. That was surprisingly exciting.
this is just a mini boss. So-
Okay. Wow. Okay. So should I go for the exit, guys?
I think you could. We know.
Secret here.
It looks like it could be.
It's a cool area anyway.
Yeah, because
The atmosphere is great.
this is something that David did. Levels actually have, connected start and end to the previous and next level.
I
so-
see.
We have some environmental storytelling, so to say. My favorite track.
Hey, I've done pretty well. 198 out of 99 kills.
You can see your accuracy summary and your performance.
Mm-hmm.
You killed almost every single monster.
Yeah, I know. I just missed one. That
Wow,
was a close one.
nice.
What's the playstyle icon?
This is something which is not implemented yet. It basically will tell you what kind of, where you aim the most. If you have most leg shots, you will get a different icon than when you have more headshots. So
Okay.
This is something, just a neat little detail, so to say.
Well, I've only found 2 secrets. I feel ashamed. But at least the accuracy wasn't too bad. Okay, and here's for, if I'm not wrong, that will be the last level of the evening.
Yeah, we'll see how far we get, but this is the beginning of the 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so where you're at is basically the entrance of actually I would say this is the part of the church that you entered in the 2nd level, and once you go forward you'll see that it just
Oh, yes.
got
Oh, yes.
destroyed.
Textures are a bit different because, I didn't. I think I didn't match the textures yet, but they will. Something to fix.
Okay,
Okay, so that's the area I was looking at just a moment ago. Okay.
now we have a small sneak peek on the environments.
Yeah, because I wanted to mention, if I'm not wrong, this is the first time that most of the viewers will be able to see this section of the game. Is that right?
I think yes, definitely this iteration of this level. Actually, we showcased the 3rd level on Realms Deep last year, but it was way different. So if you compare this, I'm not sure if that video is available anywhere, but we showcased some minutes of gameplay on 3rd level back last year. This level completely changed. Like, David, you can talk about it as long as you want. I know this level was changed a lot.
Go on
Yeah,
ahead, by all
it's-
means.
Yeah, it's because, like I said, we are constantly learning stuff, and the way I was making the levels back then wasn't very efficient, and it turned out to produce a certain visual mess, which was hard to navigate and wasn't as pretty to look at. So instead of just trying to clean it up, I decided it would be easier and quicker to just remove chunks of the level and redo them from scratch. So there are certain parts of the level there that stayed the same, mostly the inside parts, but most of the others have been totally remade, and we'll probably go through a few overhauls in the future as well, because I constantly learn how to make things better and more elegant, and also in terms of gameplay, not only the visuals, but yeah, it's something that just has to be done.
I'm not sure, but I'm having some audio issues with the. I'm not sure if it's how it's for you.
Everything's fine on my end, so.
Okay, it might be the stream.
So what is it like designing a level for a game like this? When you're designing, you obviously have to keep in mind the difficulty to make the levels progress in a intelligent fashion, so that the gamer keeps getting unchallenged. How does that come about? When you design a level, do you already know where it's going to fit in the game, or do you fit the levels based on how they turn up?
Well, we have a certain idea of progression, like what kind of levels, what kind of settings we want to take the player in. The setting of this episode is sort of castle, medieval style with a bit of a twist. There are some ancient technology, modern themes intertwined in this, so it doesn't look totally medieval. It's a bit alien, it's a bit foreign. Mm-hmm. So, but within this setting, we are trying to build some familiar visuals, like the village, like castles, like forests. So when I start designing a level, I first need to know what is the general setting. Like the first was the castle, the prisons, the sewers. So yeah, I'm just trying to design a thing that looks like this. Then I need to play the level and try to look around and see how I feel inside it. As I'm going through the level, then I'll start placing enemies, and each time I have to replay the level again and see how it works, change things around and build upon it, and it's just a constant iteration. Mm-hmm. You add some things, you test it, you see what works, what doesn't work, you change things around, you add new things, like this.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And speaking of the size and obviously the game's still a work in process, but what would you say your dream length for the game is? How long would you imagine it would end up being for an average playthrough?
I would say, if I can, I would say that the replayability is something more important than the length of the game, because in the end it grants you the playtime overall, right? So we really want to make these levels as interesting as they could be, just to give you an incentive to play again and again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And I think this is more important than, straight through our playtime, so to say. David, you can also say something about it if you want, because I think I enjoy it.
It's not a short game. I think in the end it will turn out to be several hours if you want to even speedrun it. But yeah, but something. So sorry, I lost the sound for a moment.
Oh, don't worry, that's okay. But I totally agree what you mean with the replayability, especially with the upcoming extra characters as well. I think they'll keep the players coming back for more.
Yeah, therefore we have the upgrade system, we have the combo system, we have the score system for at the leaderboards. We have planned a lot of cool actually updates in the future, and we have some ideas which we think we could implement later to increase that replayability. And it's just a bit too early to talk about the details, but we have a lot of cool things that will make the game more interesting. So there's a lot of stuff planned when it comes to the replayability itself.
Sure, just by looking at the size of the level as well, it's not going to be a super short game by any means.
Yeah. Besides, this type of games are generally appreciated more when you come back to them, when you learn them, learn how to play them, learn the layout of the levels, and you can, of course, the game has to be good enough and offer more depth in the gameplay, that there is something to actually learn, something to discover, besides the surface level gameplay mechanics. There are a lot of games I return to after a while, and then I discover there is actually more to these games, and I start playing them more than I played initially, just because I'm just starting to learn how to actually play them.
Sure, yeah, that's a common thing with games. Yeah, the replayability increases with the amount of things you learn with the game and how to play it. That is true. I'm looking at the time, and unfortunately, we're slowly reaching the point where we'll have to say our goodbyes. We still got quite a bit of time left, but guys, if there is anything in particular you would like to discuss about the game, now would be the time, while we still can fit it in our schedule.
You're right about to reach the fire spell, so we can see the fire animations.
Because I think it's pretty cool to show off on the ghouls. But I see the Momo asked a cool question about the editor and map packs. I think there was a question before about the level editor, and I think it's a bit too early to talk about that. But when it comes to editing the stuff, I am considering some things, but this is not something in my main so to say scope right now, because there are a lot of other important things regarding the game. And once we get that sorted, I will try to think about something for you guys to have fun with. I can't promise anything yet. It's just I just remember that I'm also thinking about that. That's the only thing I could say. I don't want to promise anything yet at this point. Alright, so we got the fire spell. Now let him burn. Let him have it. Can you hear those screams? I just love that.
Let's try that again. Go on.
I just love that.
I love a good barbecue. This is amazing. Okay, that was worth the wait. Okay, that was really fun.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time doing these animations.
I'll try to use that again as soon as it cools down. That was brilliant.
I gotta say, Archon, this is so fun to watch someone play this game. I mean, even though we played and tested a lot, it's really different to see someone else play it, and this is just awesome. I mean, I'm having tons of fun.
Especially for the first time, I suppose. I'm surprised, because I'm usually not very good with games that are designed like labyrinths. I get lost quite easily, and I'm surprised how easy it is for me to recognize locations and go through them. And I'm surprised that I'm kind of making progress. That's very rare for me in games like that.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, that's pretty good to hear. That's good feedback right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of recognizable spots that I can go through, and even if I decide I'm lost for a bit, I've got the mini map, which is very useful. But yeah, I knew exactly, now that I picked up the red key, where the red door was, so I knew exactly which direction I'm supposed to be going, which is very surprising to me. I'm not a visual gamer in that sense, and I love the Kako bot.
You know, this game, like every shooter, it requires a bit, you know, and so to say, environmental sense. You have to look
Yeah,
around
like
and just think
spatial
about
awareness
stuff.
in general.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah. I think we also had a question about the early access. Guys, I can only say right now we are very, very, very close, so stay tuned. And yeah, that's the only thing I can say right now. So just stay tuned for a little bit.
Exciting times ahead.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, I don't have yellow keys yet.
I think not. No, you have to go
That's okay,
here.
I'll find it.
And there's a very cool secret here, but I don't think we want to spoil it later. As you can see, there's this yellow armor up there. And this is also something we like doing about secrets. Oh, you just took that grenade to your face.
Oh no. Oh well, they'll burn for that.
Oh, I love these ghouls burning. But what I wanted to say is that we like to give secrets to the player which you can first see, and then you have to think about how to find them. And an example here is the yellow armor.
There it is.
Yep. So you just got to figure out how to get there.
Oh, should I, or do you want? Do you want?
No. We don't want to spoil it, but I'm just saying that it.
Okay.
That's how we also designed some of the secrets.
It's surprisingly fun. I'll admit I was a bit worried before you guys approached me to stream with you. As you know, you never know if a game's gonna be good or not. So there's always this feeling of, oh my, what if I'll have to stream a game that's really horrible, for instance? But no, this game is really good. It's really fun already.
You know, we're pretty stressed out too.
Another upgrade. So while we're here, we can check up another upgrade.
Yep. Okay.
Maybe something explosive this time.
I'll skip the button for now, so I remember I haven't used it.
Go ahead with the cannon. The super cannon is basically an extension of the cannon, and it allows you the cannon ball will penetrate the monsters. So
okay, so
it's a very satisfying thing.
Okay, so
it's a Stone Age lawnmower.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for that. Let's give it a shot. Sure.
It's maybe it's not explosive, but it's very satisfying to use against group. So the idea is to gather monsters in a line and then just shoot them with a single rocket. I mean, a single cannon.
Or maybe different. It's a Stone Age railgun.
Oh.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is good.
Well, you need to aim a little higher because gravity.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm playing in a
anyways, you
controller.
did really good.
Although that worked pretty good, pretty fine. Yeah, that works.
That was really fun. Okay.
Yeah, and the drops you got from the combos, you got life, you got armor, you got everything back.
Okay,
so,
I appreciated that upgrade. That was a good upgrade to get. Yeah.
I see two questions which I think we have to answer. First question about the consoles. I think it's too early to talk about that, but definitely we do want to release eventually on consoles, but it's not the time frame at this point to talk about that. At least I think so. When it comes to the infight between the monsters, yes, they do have infight, but since there's so many monsters on the screen and the gunfights are so chaotic, it's hard to spot sometimes. But often you would see Shambler or the Knight getting angry at the smaller monsters, and they would just smash them to the ground and keep them hard. So it happens sometimes. And I think it's very cool because it's spontaneous and it doesn't happen as often. And once you see it, it's just it's very satisfying. So it is there.
You can trick monsters into hitting each other. And
yeah.
then you can see, like you can use the big monsters as meat shields.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we had that Knight killing that poor ghoul before. So I've pressed a button. What did I open?
You opened the gate, which was to the right once you go through these hallways.
Okay, so I need to backtrack a bit.
No, you just missed it. To the left.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Another thing we need to signpost a little bit more.
Yeah, because there was a sign on the gate, but it disappeared. So the gate disappeared together with the sign. Maybe that's why.
Hello, the blue key.
Yeah, so you got the blue key and you got some more monsters to kill. Cause why not? They love. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That is incredibly fun. Once you get the abilities, the game becomes super crazy fun.
I mean, you can play without them. The game does
Sure.
not force you into using them, but
Oh,
it
sure,
makes
of course.
the. Actually, let me say something else. Once you get the higher difficulties, I mean, it's pretty hard not to play without them because they really give you a lot of space to, you know.
Also, there was a question about checkpoints. Are you able to disable them? We were thinking about doing a game mode that uses only checkpoints and a game mode that doesn't use any saving at all. If you but instead it will reward you with more points or maybe something else gameplay related. We are still thinking about this.
Yeah, actually, there are. I'm also watching on the YouTube chat, and I just noticed that there are a couple of questions which we did not answer, and I'm not sure where they asked. So let me take a quick look at them.
Sure, go on ahead.
I see DAC Protogen asked about the cost of rendering. Oh my God, that was a long time. I'm really sorry for that. Object instancing. Yes, we use object instancing, and we use that for various things like the minimap, for example, because and the auto map. I mean, that's why it looks so dynamic. If you actually open the auto map for a second, and you can zoom in and zoom out with the page up and page down for a second. Yeah, so we have different colors for different terrains, and this uses a specific system which I designed for the minimap, and you know it's created with small tiles, so to say, and we do use you know GPU instancing for that. If it's interesting for you. And about the native Linux port, I do want to push it out, but we gotta do some testing around the build, since you know I don't use Linux personally. I have used it before, but in a way we do need to set up a quality assurance for that. So we'll see. Yeah.
It's fantastic questions. Okay, guys, as we're slowly approaching the end of our allocated time slot, is there anything else you'd like to add? Any more questions that we would be happy to answer? Of course, we're not in a super hurry, so even if it's a long question, we'll be happy to answer, so don't worry about that. But if you got any more questions, now's the time to ask them.
Hey guys, if you have
Time
any more
slot?
questions, just go ahead, and we're happy to answer anything.
Yeah, what's 4 times 4 then?
That's too hard for me. I'm just a simple game dev.
Just a programmer.
Yeah. Is there a normal shotgun? Well, that's planned for someone else. So
There will be.
if you know what I mean. We
Nice teaser.
want to keep the arsenals unique to each character, and we have to do it in some way, right? There's just we're trying our best to come up with cool guns, and yeah, that's all I can say. And Kakobot, that's the question to David.
Also, Akimbo. Well, it was a working title for this monster, but it just stuck.
These working titles are great. I mean, I think a lot of them just stuck.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty cool. I mean, Bug Demon, Pig Demon. I love these. The one issue with these names is that they are pretty hard to translate when it comes to the, trivia. We have one monster which is specifically very, very hard to translate, but I won't spoil that until the early access drops. I'm really interested in your reactions later, guys.
Also, yes, this is Unity engine. This is all in Unity.
Yeah, we're working on Unity, so all we can see here is Unity. Project Warlock 1 was also on Unity, and we are learning all the time. This is an iterative process, and we are, doing our best to make the best possible game. And actually, the development of Project Warlock 2 started with a very, very solid. That was a bugged animation.
Oh.
And you died.
And there I go. Just in time, I suppose, for the end of the live stream.
We are trying our best, and we did everything we could to make the base of the game very good, with very good code, so that we won't have any issues in the future with adding content and quality of life features. So that's something I think is important for you guys. So I spent a lot of time creating a good code base for the game to avoid problems in the future. I think that's pretty important.
Guys, that was amazing. That was amazing 2 hours. The game is looking incredible. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience with my horrible gaming skills. Is there anything else you'd like to add at the very end of the live stream? Maybe tease something about the upcoming early access, or where to follow you, where to find you, how to add you to your Steam wish lists?
Well, guys, like I said, it's coming very, very soon, so stay tuned. And you can find me on Twitter under Warlock Dev, and you can find David under... David?
You wanna... You think I know my handle by heart? What? You're expecting too much from me.
Okay.
You just look up David K on Twitter.
Yeah, you'll find David, or look at Project Warlock, and we have David linked in the description. So you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube under Retrovibe. You can follow us on Steam.
This is why I suck at self-promotion.
But
we have a marketing department for that. That's not my job.
Guys, you can find us on Steam under Project Warlock 2. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So just make sure to follow us if you're interested. I had a great time talking to you, Archon, and with you, David. It was just awesome to have a chance and talk about the game and see you play. It was very interesting. It felt a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it was an amazing opportunity to actually see a game being made in progress and being able to speak to the developers and ask questions. It was an amazing opportunity. Thank you for inviting me. This has been a Retrovibe live stream. I hope to see you soon again. And this has been me, Dark Archon, and my guest, Kuba. And David. Thank you for your time, guys, and thank you all for joining me today, and I'll hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
See ya, guys. It was awesome.
Thank you all for coming.